Is the National Labor Relations Board under attack? What's the real goal behind Trump's purge of the National Labor Relations Board, otherwise known as the NLRB? Hint, it's not just about organized labor. Stick around to uncover how these actions could reshape American democracy, tilt federal agency power, and dismantle decades of legal precedent. Trump's actions go far beyond simply targeting union protections. They're an alarming attempt to consolidate executive power over independent agencies, unraveling safeguards that have kept our government balanced for nearly a century. The implications might shock you, and they're not just confined to labor policy. The NLRB plays a crucial role in protecting workers' rights. Established in the 1930s, it ensures fair labor practices, mediates disputes, and prevents employer retaliation. It's a cornerstone of fairness in the workplace and a pillar of independent agency governance. But here's the catch. The NLRB is supposed to operate independently of political influence. That independence is protected by a landmark Supreme Court decision from 1935 called Humphrey's Executor, which limits a president's ability to remove agency officials. In a bold and controversial move, Trump unlawfully dismissed key figures from the NLRB, including Gwyn Wilcox. These actions halted critical agency operations and flagrantly violated established legal protections. By removing board member Wilcox, Trump has set the stage for a legal battle over presidential authority and independent agencies. During his campaign, he vowed to bring these agencies back under executive control, claiming it aligns with constitutional principles. The critical question now is whether the Supreme Court will uphold those protections. The precedent set by SALA law suggests it may not, as the ruling's broad language seems to expand presidential power over federal agencies, potentially paving the way for overturning Humphreys. Trump appears to be taking advantage of this legal opening. But what's the real motive behind this disruption? It's not just about crippling the NLRB. Trump's actions are part of a broader strategy to challenge and potentially overturn the Humphreys Executor precedent. Doing so would give the president sweeping new powers to control independent agencies, blurring the lines between governance and partisanship. In 1935, the Supreme Court ruled that certain federal officials are protected from removal by the president without cause. This decision fortified agency independence, ensuring bodies like the NLRB could operate without fear of political retaliation. But what if this protection disappeared? By targeting Humphrey's executor, Trump challenges the very framework that keeps independent agencies impartial. If successful, it would mark the beginning of a dangerous trend where presidential power overrides agency autonomy, undermining the checks and balances integral to democracy. The stakes extend far beyond the NLRB. If Humphrey's executor is overturned, any federal regulatory agency could become vulnerable to partisan control. Imagine environmental, financial, or healthcare agencies being governed not by policy but by presidential whims. Chaos or careful oversight. What future do we want? This shift would erode the basic principles of checks and balances that keep government fair and accountable. It's not just a theoretical risk. The changes would have immediate, far-reaching consequences for policymaking, governance, and the rule of law. In the short term, organized labor bears the brunt of these actions. Limiting the NLRB's power hampers union efforts and tilts the scale in favor of corporations. But remember, the broader picture is about cementing executive control, not just labor policy. By crippling the NLRB, Trump sends a clear message. Independent agencies can be dismantled. This could discourage unions, workers, and even other regulatory bodies from standing up, setting a dangerous precedent of fear, instability, and diminished democratic norms. If you're thinking, I'm not a union member, so why should I care? Think again. This isn't just about workers and unions. It's about protecting the independence of all federal agencies that impact every part of your life, from health to education to environmental policy. The issue at hand reflects something bigger, the erosion of legal safeguards that protect us all from unchecked power. Without oversight, democracy falters. The fight to preserve agency independence isn't just political, it's a fight for fair governance and basic rights. If Trump's strategy succeeds, the balance of power in the U.S. government will shift dramatically. Future presidents, regardless of party, could use this newfound authority to control, silence, or dismantle independent agencies. The precedent could affect generations to come. From environmental policies to civil rights protections, almost no area of governance would remain untouched. What's at stake here is nothing less than the integrity of our federal system and the principles of fairness and impartiality that underpin it. Now it's up to us to act. Stay informed, share this message, and hold your representatives accountable. The fight for agency independence, the fight for democracy, and it starts with you. Your voice matters. Together, we can ensure checks and balances remain the cornerstone of American government. Speak up today.